I'm the last one before intermission, so if you want your beer, give it a minute. This is my dear friend, Shamsuddin Napari, and he's one of the most powerful, positive, and capable people that I know. He works as a fabricator in Tamale. It's the largest city in northern Ghana, West Africa. We met when I was a volunteer for CCAF International. The year was 2009. CCAF specializes in helping women develop any sort of product from shea butter. Shea butter is an ivory-colored emulant that's often used in the cosmetic industry. The problem is that it's very difficult to make because the work is predominantly done by hand. Sham and I sought ways to improve the quality of the product, increase the marketability of it, as well as improve the lives of the women. He developed tools to make the production easier, while I worked on developing a field-to-factory traceability model to help the women gain fair trade and organic status at the international level. So we started by first sort of talking about his process. Sham made the majority of his tools by welding with a car battery and sunglasses, often without gloves, by using scrap metal that he bartered from friends in the neighborhood. I was amazed by Sham's tactile intuition and the quality of the work that he developed. Comparatively, I'd been working in an office and kind of bored, so I convinced my boss to let us work together once a week. I started by printing out all manner of design information, including instructions on how to develop a universal nut grinder and biogas converters. We often talked about what we liked about each of the designs. He gave very critical feedback and nodded when he liked something that I shared with him. Each time I visited, his smile grew wider, and he always had some new and powerful innovation on the design to share with me. Around this same time, the first Maker Fair in Africa was happening, and it happened in Accra, which is the capital city of Ghana, about 12 hours worth of a drive. It was awesome because our boss said, "That's a great idea. I want to fund you guys going there." So we agreed that we needed to go. We needed to talk with other makers and highlight our awesome partnership and show off what we've been making. I asked Sham to confirm with me his participation. He signed an X on a paper because he'd never learned how to read, and I never had any of the guts to ask. As I tell this story, you may not know about the Africa that I'm describing to you, or perhaps it only exists in your imagination, or the version you know best is the one that's promoted by the media. But what I'm saying is that Africa is a place of explosive ingenuity and innovation, from people who are scientists, artists, engineers, and tinkerers, just like you and me. And just like the visionaries among us, they never give up on anything that brings progress to their lives. But when we talk about what kind of world is possible, we often forget to consider what kind of world people are already making. Sham's entrepreneurial spirit is just one of the many voices I heard while pursuing research about the ways that young people are describing their entrepreneurial and civic experiences. Almost all of them relay the same message. They're dedicated to creating a legacy of ideas and objects that provide cascading benefits in the lives of everyday people. But as we're increasingly connected by digital technologies that shape our evolution as a global society, and we are better positioned to accelerate the long-term growth of communities more than ever before, the conversation that is happening about development is one where we're talking about large-scale technological innovations in faraway enterprises as a means to solve local problems. I don't think that this is the way to go for it. Our focus implies that the most important innovations will be made for people, not with them, and that the issues of our time will be determined by us to them. When we don't ask people about their ideas, hopes, and dreams, what kind of innovations do we miss? What could our world look like if we spent more time talking to people who are often left out of that conversation? What kind of lessons could we learn about the earth itself? I'm here to ask you, great people of the Boulder Theater, when you think of others and their difference, do you first think of their abilities, or do you think of their their limitations. When you design for a better, more connected world, how do you activate their experiences? Does your system say, do what I tell you to do, or look what you have to offer? The fact is, we all need to prepare for a world that we can grow into, not the world we're leaving behind. To meet the demands of a changing world, we need new kinds of educational systems to meet new kinds of experts. If you want to enable the exponential growth of communities worldwide, invest in fab labs, maker spaces, and similar initiatives, because I think that we can really transform this world together. Thank you.